Hey guys, how y'all doing? BionicleSaurus here, and in this video we are going to be taking a look at the Safari Limited Sauropelta. So for anyone who isn't aware, this figure has actually been in my collection for a while. It came out in 2015, and it is just one of my favorite herbivore figures by Safari Limited, by anyone. This is just a beloved figure in my collection, and I cannot wait to talk about it, so let's get right into this video. So right off the bat, this figure is so pleasing. Like, when you just look at it, just aesthetically, it so just works. It has a very consistent look to it. The pose isn't overly active, but it's still very fluid looking. Looks very natural. Nothing looks awkward, or none of the limbs look misplaced, or like they couldn't really be in the position that they are. And I think this is a good pose for an ankylosaur because they were so heavy and presumably on the slower side. I don't think a super active pose is always the best way to go. A bit more of a subdued pose is probably more accurate. And again, it's not like crazy action-packed, but it does look very, very nice. The coloration is nothing special, like it's pretty much just brown. And in fact, I'm pretty sure that that is the molded plastic color, so really it's not much of a paint job. But what they have put on is a bit of a coating of black highlights in between the scales and the scutes on the back. And it just helps to make every little osteoderm and scale just pop and really brings a lot of nuance to the color scheme. There you can get a better look at what I was talking about. Just this little, just these little outlines of black. It actually looks like they maybe took a really, really runny paint, like a really thin paint, and just kind of let it wash over the plastic, so that everything that sticks up doesn't really get any paint on it, but it falls down into the cracks and the crevices, and it just brings so much detail to what would otherwise be a very drab-looking figure, and helps to make it look more realistic and almost kind of weathered, like this is an older ankylosaur. Maybe that's not even his colors, maybe that's actually dirt and grime from all of his years of wandering around, running from predators. Well, you know, as fast as an ankylosaur can run. It would probably be more like a little shuffle. But anyway, that works so well. And while we're in this close-up shot, let me just highlight that frickin' sculpt. Look at these spikes and every little osteoderm. The armor is entirely accurate to the real thing. And this just, oh my gosh. That is just such a fantastic, crisply detailed figure. The detail is just crisp. That is the only way to describe it. And it just looks so good. This is truly phenomenal on Safari's part. As you can see, the head is very, very nice as well. I mean, they've really packed a lot of detail into it. The eye, the nostril, even the ear hole, and the mouth, it's all painted and sculpted very well, especially considering just how small it is. As you can see, it's about the same size as my thumbnail. Now getting into size comparisons, and as usual, I am going to start with the Allosaurus. Again, I kind of consider this figure to be sort of the relatable comparison, because I think a lot of people probably have the Allosaurus. It's a very popular figure, and pretty easy to find as well. And as you can see, this is not a super huge ankylosaur. It's gonna be in your collection as a pretty small figure. It's gonna be a smaller herbivore figure. And so, it's not gonna scale perfectly with every model, you know? As you can see, I mean, this isn't really to scale. I'm pretty sure if you put a real Allosaurus and Sauropelta next to each other, the Sauropelta would not be that much smaller. It would be smaller, but not to this degree. Not so drastic. Next up, we have the Safari Limited Utyrannus, of course, and these figures came out in the same year together. They were same company, same year. They were part of the exact same wave of models, and they look very, very good. Obviously, these two species would never actually interact. Well, then again, neither would Sauropelta and Allosaurus either, but still, like, if you're pretending that you're on Dinosaur Island or something, or on Isla Nublar or Sorna, you know, somewhere where all sorts of weird species from different times and locations could actually come together, then this looks really nice, because size-wise, I think these actually work together just about perfectly. Finally, let's bring in pretty much my only other ankylosaur figure that I actually have in my entire collection, the Carnegie Ankylosaurus. As you can see, it is a bit larger, and I actually think these work together really well too, because Ankylosaurus, I'm pretty sure, should be a bit bigger than Sauropelta. especially if you can see them like this. The Sauropelta actually is a little bit wider, and that's one of the slightly outdated things about the Carnegie Ankylosaurus, is it's a little bit too thin. Although, other than that, it is still a beautiful model that holds up on most levels. But as you can see next to each other, I mean, these look really good if you want to make a little herd of ankylosaurs on your shelf, or do some photography with ankylosaurs. I mean, I don't think these two species interacted. I'm pretty sure Sauropelta was early Cretaceous, and Ankylosaurus was, of course, very, very late in the Cretaceous period. But still, you know, they look good together, and if you're just having fun and just pretending, they will totally work as a pair. So now for my rating. And my rating for this figure is an A+. Objectively, this figure is almost flawless. In fact, there is one tiny accuracy issue that I forgot to mention earlier, and that is that there are too many hooves on the front feet. The outer two toes should probably not have hooves on them, I'm pretty sure. Although the number of fingers and toes is right, at least. But I mean, still, that's such a minor nitpick. And from my own personal standpoint, this just looks so good. I love it. I mean, that's what an A+ means now. It's not that it's flawless, because this is subjective now in these videos, not objective anymore. I know that I keep reiterating this, but I really like this new idea for the review videos, and I think it just really, it makes an A+ rating more special, because it's hard to make a flawless figure, but it's harder to make a figure that someone will actually truly love. And I have to say, Safari did an amazing job. I truly love this figure. It is absolutely one of my favorite herbivore figures in my entire collection. My favorite ankylosaur figure, although there's really only one other competitor for that. And just in conclusion, this is an amazing figure, and if you haven't already picked it up, it's still very easy to find. You can get it on Dan's Dinosaurs off Safari Unlimited's website. You can probably find it on Amazon, although be careful because Amazon prices their figures pretty poorly, at least some of the time. But anyway, this is just a beautiful, beautiful figure. But that is about all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for watching. BionicleSaurus, signing out.